Good morning and welcome to Saturday, June 20th, 2020. A lot of 20s there, isn't there? And today's devotion is a little bit different in that I'm going to be reading my devotion from a different devotional book. I'm going to try something different, step outside the norm, and shake it up a little bit and see what you guys think. So leave a comment at the end of this video to let me know what you think of the content, the format, and how it reads, how it's able to be comprehended. Not quite sure what to expect, so let me know what you think as compared to the existing devotion books that we've been reading. So with that, today's devotion is titled Enemies of the Cross, and our main verses are going to be Philippians 3, verses 18 and 19. And they read, "For many walk, of whom I have told you often, and now tell you even weeping, that they are the enemies of the cross of Christ, whose end is destruction, whose God is their belly, and whose glory is in their shame, who mind earthly things." Paul said there were those that were enemies of the cross of Christ, not necessarily enemies of the gospel, not enemies of salvation by grace, but enemies of the teaching and preaching of the cross. In case you don't get it, the enemies of the cross are those that are enemies of the crucified life, of there being any commitment to Christ and surrender to God. They'll say things like, "You don't have to do that to be saved." They say of a preacher who preaches the Bible with conviction, "Who does he think he is, God?" Let me answer that stupid question. Maybe he thinks he's a man of God. Maybe he believes he has an inspired Bible. Wouldn't that be scary? Maybe he knows that that book is alive and its authority is straight from God's throne. Maybe he won't apologize for what God says. God said it. I don't need to apologize for it. If it's too tough for you, what you need to do is die to self, and then you could take it. It doesn't bother your spirit. It's your flesh that's troubled, saying, "I'm saved, but I'm not getting baptized." Or, "I'm saved, but you don't have to go to church to be a Christian." Or, "I'm saved, but I'll..." And on it goes. So, that's a very enlightening verse. So many people, or devotion I mean, so many people think that there are other ways to heaven other than Christ. You know, so many people believe, well, I'm going to heaven because I'm a good person. I'm nice to people. I don't steal. I don't break the 10 Commandments. Wink, wink, everybody does. But they'll tell you they don't. But they believe that based on their actions and their goodness, that they'll earn their way into heaven. And the Bible explicitly tells you there's only one way to heaven, and that is through Jesus Christ. That's what he tells us in John 14:6. He says, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No man cometh unto the Father but by me." So, without Jesus Christ, there is no entrance into heaven, period. And then if you want to say, well, I'm good enough, you can easily go to Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 and 9 says, "For by grace ye are saved, through your faith, not of your actions, lest any man should boast." And I paraphrased a little bit there, I cut some parts out. But basically it's insinuating you cannot earn your way into heaven based on your works. The only way you can be granted salvation is through grace and your faith in Jesus Christ. Period. End of discussion. The Bible is explicit in that. There's no doubting it. There's no twisting the words or spinning the words. It is what it is. So if you have not accepted Jesus Christ as your Lord and Savior, then you will not gain admittance into heaven, regardless of how good you are. No matter how nice you are. You can even go to church every day of your life. But if you don't accept Christ, it's all for naught. That's what it comes down to. You've got to accept Jesus Christ and his sacrifice on the cross in order for you to be given that gift of salvation. So, something to think about. Let me know what you think about today's devotion. A little bit different. It was a little controversial in a good way, in a positive, entertaining way. I like the way that read. So let me know what you think. And until tomorrow, you guys have a great rest of your weekend. And God bless. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.